Attention passionate Philadelphia Eagles fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Philadelphia Eagles fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, buckle up because what we saw recently in the NFC East, especially with the Philadelphia Eagles, has set off some serious alarms, and it's definitely worth talking about. You see, the Eagles, who have been one of the most talked about teams this season, are currently facing some turbulence. Their latest game was a tough pill to swallow. They suffered a 34-17 defeat at the hands of the New York Giants at MetLife Stadium. And let me tell you, this wasn't just any loss, it was a stark reminder that even the best can stumble. The Eagles, who entered that game with a 4-1 record, are now sitting at 4-2, and this latest setback has fans and analysts alike questioning what's going wrong and what needs to be done to get back on track. What's especially striking about this game is how the Giants managed to dominate defensively, especially in the second half. The Eagles, who had been pretty explosive on offense earlier in the season, couldn't find their rhythm when it mattered most. They failed to score a single point after halftime, which is pretty rare for a team with such offensive firepower. That's a clear sign that the Giants' defense really stepped up and made adjustments, while the Eagles couldn't respond in kind. It's not just about losing, it's about how they lost and what that means for their confidence moving forward. Now let us focus on Saquon Barkley, a player who has been a key figure in this narrative. Barkley, who has been one of the most dynamic offensive players in the league, looked visibly upset and frustrated after the game. You could see it in his eyes, and his words afterward didn't hold back. He talked openly about the struggles the team is facing, and even offered a pretty candid, almost NSFW, solution to their offensive issues. Yeah, Barkley didn't hold back when it came to addressing the team's approach, and his honesty really stood out. He admitted that the offense has been predictable, especially last year, when everyone knew the game plan was to run the ball, yet they still managed to execute. But this year, teams have caught on and the Eagles are struggling to adapt. Barkley's words were pretty revealing. He said, "We made some misses, the Giants made some plays, that's just football." But then he went deeper, suggesting that maybe it's time for a radical shift in mindset. He mentioned that last year, their offense was predictable because everyone knew they were going to run the ball, and yet they still got it done. So why not go back to that mentality where they don't care what the defense is trying to do? He explicitly said, "We got to get back to that mindset, not giving a F what the defense is trying to do." Now, that kind of honesty, that raw attitude, is exactly what you need when your offense is sputtering. It's a wake-up call for the Eagles, a reminder that sometimes you have to throw away the scripts and just go full throttle, regardless of what the defense expects. But here's the thing, this isn't just about one game or one player's frustration. It's about a team that's trying to find its identity again after some early season success. The Eagles, coming off a loss to the Denver Broncos in Week 5, had shown signs of vulnerability, and now this loss to the Giants has only intensified those concerns. Their offense, which was supposed to be one of the league's most explosive units, is hitting a wall. The struggles aren't just about play calling. They're about execution, confidence, and perhaps even a little bit of overthinking. When a team that's so talented can punch through a tough defense, it raises questions about what adjustments are needed and how they're going to bounce back. And speaking of bouncing back, it's worth mentioning that the Eagles aren't just about Saquon Barkley or one game. This team has a rich history of resilience and overcoming adversity. Remember last season when they started slow but finished the season on a high note, ultimately making it to the Super Bowl? That's a team that knows how to turn things around. But it's going to take a lot of work now, especially with the NFC East looking more competitive than ever. The Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, and even the Washington Commanders, each of these teams are hungry and capable of causing chaos in the standings. So the Eagles can't afford to dwell on setbacks. They have to focus, adapt, and come out stronger. Now let us take a quick pause here because I want to make sure you're staying with me. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Philadelphia Eagles news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So in terms of what the Eagles need to do moving forward, it's pretty clear that they have to reassess their offensive strategy. When a team is predictable, defenses can just tee off and make life miserable for the quarterback and the entire unit. That's what we saw in this game against the Giants. The defense knew what was coming and stacked the box, daring the offense to beat them through the air. But when your offense is inconsistent or hesitant, it just feeds into that cycle of frustration. The key, really, is going back to that aggressive mentality that worked so well last season. It's about embracing a no-fear approach, kind of like Barkley said, not giving a F what the defense is trying to do. That's the mentality that can spark a turnaround. And it's not just about the run game or the play calling. It's about confidence. When the offense believes in itself, that confidence spreads across the team. It's about taking risks, challenging the defense, and not overthinking every single play. The Eagles are a team with so much talent and potential, but they need to reconnect with that fearless attitude that made them so dangerous last year. That's what can turn their season around. And honestly, it's the kind of mindset that can carry them deep into the playoffs if they can get it right. Looking ahead, the matchup against the Minnesota Vikings on October 19 is crucial. It's a game that can serve as a reset button, a chance to prove that they're still a top-tier team. The Vikings are no pushover, but if the Eagles can come out with the right mindset, aggressive, fearless, and adaptable, they can get back on track. That game will be a test of their resilience and ability to respond after setbacks. It's the kind of challenge that really defines a team's character. Of course, everything we're discussing here isn't happening in a vacuum. The NFC East is evolving, and each game is a piece of the puzzle. The Giants, with this recent win, have gained confidence and momentum, which makes the division even more competitive. The Eagles, as reigning champions, are under pressure to respond, to show that they're still the team to beat. It's a season of peaks and valleys, but the real champions are those who can learn from setbacks and come back stronger. That's what makes football so exciting: the unpredictability, the resilience, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. And speaking of greatness, it's worth reflecting on how this team has been built. The Eagles have shown a remarkable ability to adapt and evolve. Last season, they were a team that could overcome almost any obstacle, thanks to their grit and talent. But every team hits rough patches, and this is just one of those moments. The key now is how they respond, whether they stick to their guns or try to force things that aren't working. From what we've seen, there's a lot of work to be done, but the potential is still there. The coaching staff, the players, everyone knows what's at stake. It's about finding that spark again, that fearless attitude that can carry them through adversity. Moreover, fans shouldn't forget the history of this franchise. The Eagles are a team with a passionate fan base, a rich tradition, and a relentless spirit. They've bounced back from tough seasons before, and if there's one thing that's clear, it's that this team is never out of the fight. The road to another Super Bowl isn't a straight line. It's filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But the true test of a champion is how they respond when things aren't going their way. So, looking ahead, the focus is on resilience, adaptability, and that fearless mindset. The Eagles have all the pieces to get back to winning ways, but it's going to require a collective effort: coaches, players, and fans all pulling in the same direction. This season isn't over yet, and if they can learn from these recent struggles, they might just surprise everyone by making a deep playoff run. Their journey is far from finished, and with the right attitude, they can turn this adversity into a stepping stone toward even greater success. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this situation? Are you worried, or do you believe this team will bounce back stronger than ever? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come. Keep the faith, and let us keep pushing forward, because the season is still wide open, and the Eagles have what it takes to rise from these setbacks and soar even higher. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next update.